Thank you, Steve. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defending Israel's deadly attack on a Turkish aid ship bound for Gaza, saying that Israeli soldiers acted in self-defense.
They were mobbed, they were clubbed, they were beaten, stabbed. There was even reported gunfire. And our soldiers had to defend themselves, defend their lives, or they would have been killed.
But the UN Security Council is condemning the attack this morning, calling for an investigation. So how should President Obama respond to this diplomatic crisis? Joining us now, the former chief of staff to Benjamin Netanyahu, George Birnbaum, and Middle East political analyst Ali Yunus. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning.
Mr. Birnbaum, let me start with you. You used to work for Benjamin Netanyahu. You heard what he said, that Israel acted in self-defense. Obviously, you agree with him?
Well, let's understand what happened from the beginning. This was a shipment coming from Turkey, and Israel, a country that is in a constant state of battle with global and Islamic terrorism, had every reason to believe that there's a possibility that countries like Iran and Syria would use a flotilla like this to smuggle weapons into Gaza that would be used to harm, maim, and kill innocent women and children. The Israeli government warned the flotilla not to go to Gaza, to come to Ashdod, have the goods inspected, have the cargo inspected, and if indeed it were humanitarian goods, all those goods would be allowed to continue onto the Gaza Strip. The flotilla refused. Soldiers went without weapons at first to try and persuade the flotilla not to continue onto Gaza. They were brutally attacked, and as the Prime Minister said, the soldiers were forced to defend themselves.
Mr. Yunus, I know that you see it in a different way. You see it as an overreaction. And now you have Turkey, one of the few friends of Israel, a Muslim friend, by the way, in the Middle East. Now you've angered them. What's going to happen?
Right. Well, first of all, just let me make a correction to Mr. Birnbaum's assertion that this ship was, contained, Iranians or other people who are enemies to Israel. It had Swedish citizens, American citizens, European member of parliament in Europe, member of parliament of Greece, former Nobel Peace winner. So this ship clearly was meant to end the blockade of Gaza and end the plight of 1.5 million Palestinians who are being held siege by Israel. And I think, Turkey here is a key player, and Israel, by killing 9 people, most of them Turkish citizens, is not only risking alienating Turkey, its only Muslim ally or partner in the region, but the entire Muslim world. And this will have a huge impact on U.S. strategy and in the Middle East and in the region.
And you talk about U.S. strategy, so let's take a look at what the White House is saying this morning. Here's their statement. The United States deeply regrets the loss of life and injuries sustained and is currently working to understand the circumstances surrounding this tragedy. That was put up by Bill Burton, White House Deputy Press Secretary. Mr. Birnbaum, what should President Obama do about this?
Well, let me just correct him. I wasn't asserting the Iranians or Syrians on the boat. I was asserting that it was potential that they were using the boats to smuggle weapons into Gaza.
Right.
Listen, the Obama administration is in a very difficult position, but in this case, they have to side with Israel, and I'll tell you why. The organizers of this flotilla, the Insani Yardim Vakfi, the Humanitarian Relief Fund, is an organization that even the U.S. Treasury Department has labeled as a specially designated global terrorist. These are people who have ties to Ahmed Ressam, who was the Millennium Bomber who tried to come to the United States with over 1,000 pounds of weapons to blow up Los Angeles International Airport. Listen, if a flotilla from Pakistan was trying to sail up the Hudson River, I don't think the Coast Guard will let the flotilla get within 100 miles of the coast.
Right.
So the Obama administration has to side with Israel on this point.
Mr. Yunus, what should Obama do? 10 seconds.
I think President Obama should, first of all, condemn this operation because it's a high-seas piracy, and Israel has no right to stop the ship from going to Gaza to end the blockade.
Right.
And the U.S. strategic interest in the...
I have to wrap it up there. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Mr. Birnbaum, Mr. Yunus, very interesting debate. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Just before Congress took their memorial